In this video, I show you how I collect my ground cherry seeds and save them for the next year to plant more ground cherries, because I figured out that I love these things and we'll get as many as possible this year. So the video is kind of long. I go through the whole process of seed saving, where you pull the seeds out of the fruit, put it in a cup of water, and let it ferment for 3 or 4 days to get the gel to like dissolve off of it. And then you put it through a strainer and try to save all the seeds, because these seeds are really tiny. Then you lay them out on a paper towel, let them dry for a couple days, and then when they get real dry, you pretty much store them in a Ziploc bag or something that is waterproof and dry. Keep them in a dry place till the next year, and you're ready to plant them again. So the video, I'm going to skip a couple of steps in there, like the straining them through the strainer and put them on the paper towel, but show you how I cut them open and collect them, put them in a glass of water. Pretty much after that, they just sit there a couple of days and they actually ferment. They'll kind of rot and they'll float to the bottom. The good ones will float to the bottom. And then you just dump the water off, clean them up, dry them out, and just check the video out. And it's all the way through the end to where I plant them, and some I just planted about 2 weeks ago that have already sprouted. So this works, and it'll save you a lot of money, and you'd be surprised how many seeds are in these ground cherries. I mean, there's like thousands of seeds in them. You'll never buy a ground cherry seed again. It's a quick video of how to save ground cherry seeds. Get you a glass like this, fill it with water. These little tiny seeds are what they grow from. Squish them out. You can see tiny seeds, but that's what they grow from. I've planted them and grown from seed before. I just squish it up, and throw peeling and all in there. I cut it open so it's easier to get to. But that little gel around them will ferment off in this in a couple of days. Here's some I started yesterday and decided to do a video. They're hard to get a hold to. You just squeeze them out on your finger, dig them out like this. And one ground cherry you'll get about 30 to 40 seeds out of. You squeeze them all out of there and kind of rinse your hands in the water. You can get you a bowl to do this and then transfer it into a cup later. It's easier in a bowl. I'm just doing it like this because this is what I have sitting here at the time. You just kind of rub your fingernails around in them to get them to release from the inside of the skin. See how many I got from that one? There's easily 40 seeds in there. I'll probably do six or eight of these just to make sure I have 150 seeds or so. As far as getting seeds from them, you have to make sure they're ripe to eat If the fruit's ripe to eat, then the seed is formed completely. And anyway, you just leave this in a cup for 2 or 3 days. It might start smelling funny in a couple of days. But I'm going to set this over on the cabinet countertop and show you the next phase. I'm going to do a few more. So I got plenty. And that is kind of overripe, but it's going in there. Okay, that's it for this stage. All right, once they dry out for a few days on this paper towel, they're gonna stick, they'll stick to it. So I like to put them on a plate before I put them in a Ziploc bag with a label. This is some ground cherry seeds I saved, and look how tiny they are, pretty awesome. But I've grown them from these. But they'll stick to these paper towels. You just kind of put them over a big plate so they don't fly everywhere, and scrape them off with a fingernail. Into your plate. Anyways, there you got all your seeds, and then you just put them in your Ziploc bag. You need somebody to help you do this, or you can just dump them in there so you don't get them all over the table. I'll scrape some more in there and put the rest in. And then you just I put the date on it and the name, put them in there with it, seal it up, ready for next year. All right, here we are 8 months later. The seeds are dried out, and first thing I like to do before I plant them, I dump them back out in the old plate, in the white plate, so I can see them. See how tiny they are? Super tiny. All right, now we're gonna plant them. I just put one seed to the things because they're pretty good about growing. And I go ahead and push them in and cover them up because they look just like these little particles in here because they're so tiny. And it's hard to remember what cells you just put a seed in. Alright, I'm just going to press it down with my finger a little bit. I just dampen this seed starting mix a little bit across the top. You want it good and damp. And you want to do it before you put the seeds in because you'll really wash these seeds away because they're tiny. I'm going to finish up the rest of these and we'll be right back. Okay, and just so you know that this works and my seed saving technique was effective, here's some under my grow lights that I planted about 2 weeks ago. Let's give them the light so you can see them. They take about 2 weeks to come up. But yeah, they're doing good. And that one needs some water. But here's a little one coming up right here. I don't know how many other ones are going to come up. There's one that looks like got scorched in the sun. I set them out in the sun the other day when I had to move some stuff around. But these are growing good. And hopefully out of that bunch that I just did over there, it's 36 more. Hopefully I'll get 10 or 12 out of that. It's the first year I've done my own seeds, but they're okay. All right, thanks for watching.